In November 1934, on a farm on the Aotearoa River in Auckland, a 52-year-old Scottish migrant had a sudden and fatal heart attack. She left behind a devastated young family. Her 19-year-old daughter would grow up positive that, like her mother, she would not survive middle age. That daughter was my nana. She eventually passed away at age 97, complaining she was surrounded by too many old people. Every 90 minutes, another New Zealand family loses a member to cardiovascular disease. But how do we learn about cardiovascular disease and other key science information? For most people, the only opportunity to learn about science is during the compulsory school years. Even allowing for lifelong learning, opportunities for most adults to learn about science are few and hard to come by. This is where museums come in. Museums can bridge that gap and provide a unique learning opportunity that can extend people's science literacy way beyond the limits of the compulsory school years. My research looks at the ways that museums contribute to science literacy and communicate science information by looking at the processes and motivations of museum staff and visitors. I'm doing this using a case study. The Auckland Medical Museum Trust's pop-up travelling exhibition, Bravehearts, the New Zealand cardiac story, that tells the history of cardiac medicine in Aotearoa. These notes are from that exhibition, and they're where visitors have stuck their stories to the wall of the exhibition, and they share their stories of survival, of loss, and pleading with the reader to care for their heart. When I interviewed the exhibition developers, they said their goal was to share New Zealand's cardiac stories and how we led the world for nearly 60 years, pioneering new technology with brave staff and even braver patients. My task in all of this is to evaluate how well this is being done and how it can be done better in the future. I'm doing this using a mixed methods approach. I'm observing visitors in the exhibition to find out where the hotspots are and what draws them in. And I'm following this up with a questionnaire that uses a convenient sampling method that allows me to assess how visitors learn. The data for today comes from my first of 3 sites. The visitors sampled self-reported an increased knowledge of cardiovascular medicine as a result of visiting the exhibition of 11%. This seems very impressive, given that visitors generally spend less than 30 minutes in the exhibition. Now, most of the research that's been done on science communication in museums before has been done in North America. It's absolutely imperative that we do our own research so we can find out what works for New Zealanders. That way New Zealand museums become more effective and more engaging at communicating key science information. So that hopefully one day in the future we'll have fewer stories of loss to write on post-it notes. Thank you.